This is called Kingdom of Class. All I wanted was love, really, and thought that was what everyone wanted. What a fool I was for love. But really, that became security. And that attack, that day I saw those towers, we all saw them, go down in a white flurry of hurricane dust in the city the world loves, neighborhoods plumed in billows. We just watched and then brought home our own dead. Next, the neighbors all lost their jobs, and we started taking all those pay cuts and hoped our AC made it through another season and the roof another year. Love is a kind of capital, as is Eros. And some days I still believe you can have your Eros and eat it too. But that Jersey rock star opened the soup kitchen in town, and a friend said, why don't we try it? You know, just because. She's out of work and her spouse hasn't had a new account in months, and I think her family might actually need that meal. Sometimes I just want to touch people, so I steal caresses, an arm, a sleeve. I touch my screens, people all over the world, a text away, keeping me from filling my pockets with old hard drives and walking into the Jersey Ocean. When did we all forget that what we all wanted was what we couldn't get, and so we settled for what we got? I'm trying not to go to sleep again. Instead, I'll try to stay awake in the tomorrow of the future, where we all hope our children will have it easier and better, richer and more wonderful than we've had, better than anyone else has ever had, as if it is possible to protect anyone from anything at all. Now, what part of my book, Women and Other Hostages, is about trying to deal with what I was considering fallen kingdoms. That was originally what I was thinking of as the title for the book. Watching the economic system collapse, the political system collapse, my marriage collapse, and all kinds of things collapse. And in fact, I also had a heart attack. So watching my body collapse. So this poem is about that. Music in the kingdom of the heart. And in fact, what I had was a heart attack that's called, there's a name for it, but it's a heart attack when you actually have had heartbreak, because you don't actually have a heart problem, but your heart's broken. In the echocardiogram, the muscle looks like a human drumming, though the technician holding the transducer to my chest merely chuckles when I tell her this. Maybe after seeing 1,000 of those muscles close up, she's inured to their natures, her job being to look for what is flawed or broken. When I think of pumps and valves, it sounds like an engine, but the whirl in me is more than machine. The sonic arms of valves thrust open and bang closed with a kind of music, as if life depended on rhythm, which of course it does. I used to be a drummer, but was no good. Still, I tell the technician wheeling me down the hallway this old drumming joke. There are 3 kinds of drummers, I say, those who can count and those who can't. Sometimes I experienced the drummer's high, which neuroscientists explain as the measurable unity between brains in the act of collaboration, not unlike what we do in a poetry reading. And sometimes even a weary somatic metaphor makes a person's feelings clear. My heart was broken. Maybe the issue is that even in married life, I thought 1 + 1 equaled 1. So, the other thing that my book is really about, and of course, you never know what your editor actually thinks, is that friendship and relationships with women were what truly brought me through a really difficult period of my life. And so there's a lot of poems about having a daughter and having female friends. And this is one of kind of touches on that. This one touches on that. It's called Women and Other Female Identifications. And it's really based on something my mom really did say to me when I was a kid. My mother used to say that a beautiful woman makes men feel handsome. It's very cishet, I admit that. But a truly beautiful woman makes other women feel beautiful. It was a graceful and affirmative idea to have implanted in me as a girl, though cishet in its framing, forgivable given the times, though it still has power. And I tell women all the time that they are beautiful, including a woman with vivacious gray curls and a bouncing gait I saw in the Acme parking lot the other day. But that's not why I'm thinking of it. I'm feeling the memory of you in my throat, the way you surrendered and shuddered, stunned by the softness that came over you, though few would have thought me the one in power if they'd been watching through a curtain crack. My mother used to say, grace is seeing in someone's face the child they once were. And after your jaw loosened and that look, you laid back, you were like an angel or a child. And I knew you were both grateful and ashamed and maybe a little afraid. So 2 more poems. A lot of my work gets located in the Jersey Shore, where I've spent most of my life. And often on the boardwalks of Asbury Park. There's a big music scene here. And I'll give you 2 poems from that, and then I'm gonna sign off. This is called Icarus in the House of Spirits. In the Great Swamp, which is actually a physical park in New Jersey. In the Great Swamp, he described the most common owls: screech, great horned, barred. He pointed to the sky where a tangle of black birds swooped and called. Even I could see how angry they were. That's called mobbing, he said. They're trying to scare a great horned out. He swore that the owl was above, but I couldn't look up without getting dizzy. Looking now in the bathroom mirror in Asbury Park's Johnny Mac's House of Spirits, I remember holding his hand, this early boyfriend, the sound of screaming birds drilling inside my skull. The faces surrounding my reflection are all women's, brown, pale, nutty, speckled, all primping and preening, peacocked and prettified, a lovely and terrifying flock of which I am part. I can't recall his face, but his hands I can in detail. Shape of palm, meat of thumb, bent of fingers, as if they were wing shoots holding him above the sorrows of his life, out of reach of what chased him. And I can feel the bird heart in my own chest fluttering, while my face seems hollowed and owlish in this dim light in which we all hope to confirm our beauty. And the last poem I'll share with you, you'll remember that we all grew up on this mythology around caterpillars making a cocoon and turning into a butterfly, and how fabulous that was when we were in kindergarten. But it's like way more serious than that. It's called holometaboly, and this is called The Troubles of Men, holometaboly. One restroom at Club Taboo in Asbury Park is gender-free, though it was once the ladies' room, and so has stalls with doors, no urinals, and enough sink room for lots of us to preen against the mirror. Everyone leans to pluck hair up or over, pull clumped eyelashes, pucker mouths, and frown. Someone says, "Honey, I just have to have that lipstick," and reaches for it. And she's right. When she slides it across her lip and then blows a kiss at the mirror, it's as if her mouth was meant to be this color and do that thing. Someone recorded the sounds inside a chrysalis, magnified the wrenching, like wood being chipped, a disintegrating tree trunk, a chainsaw to a door, rain on a metal roof. A micro CT rendered in 3D reveals that pupa dissolves from what it was into a protein soup and then slowly reconstitutes into what it will become. Outside this room and this club, the music is a cocoon. We all writhe inside. But I linger at this mirror, watching faces come and go. Sometimes a cis male comes in, thrilled because he can, because no one tells him to leave. He looks at everyone. We share that, this looking, and sometimes he even looks at himself. Thank you very much.